Arvind Kejriwal now and the centre. It seems like the face-off is only escalated. Delhi LG and their house say that after Excise Policy Row, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal now decides to skip the meeting with Delhi LG. Kejriwal skips the meeting with the LG at this point. In fact, Delhi Chief Minister's office says this meeting was scheduled to happen on the 8th of July and that's why he may have missed. Today, Chief Minister has cancelled the meeting with the Delhi LG due to some prior engagement. This is the response of the Aam Aadmi Party. But nonetheless, this really shows that clearly at this point, the Delhi LG and the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi not getting along. It seems like there are various issues that the Aam Aadmi Party is now looking to counter. Many allegations levelled by the Delhi LG and the Chief Secretary. Clearly here over the allegations of kickbacks received over their excise policy. There was a meeting to be held at the Delhi LG's office, but it appears that the Kejriwal government has now backed off. Kejriwal, as the Chief Minister, has not appeared for the meeting. Kejriwal and the centre showdown only exploding. Arvind Kejriwal, did he really know about the excise policy lapses? That's the question. Chief Secretary sent a report to Chief Minister and the LG on the 14th of July. Excise policy controversy only intensifying. According to sources in LG office, the Chief Secretary was duty bound under Rule 57 of the TBRs, which is the Transaction of Business Rules, to inquire and bring to the notice of the LG and the Chief Minister about procedural lapses. The Chief Secretary of Delhi submitted the report to the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal as well as the LG on 14th of July itself. So the question here is, of course, whether Arvind Kejriwal indeed knew about the lapses in the excise policy. Some really harsh allegations that we're looking at against Manish Sisodia. Did he at all receive kickbacks over the government's excise policy? Let me quickly cut across to our reporters joining live, Abhishek Anand and Milan Sharma, tracking those developments. Milan, a quick word from you. We're seeing the Delhi LG holding a meeting today, which they hoped that the Chief Minister would appear. They wanted to extensively discuss the excise policy and the lapses that they've observed. And Arvind Kejriwal seems to have skipped this meet. But from what we see here, on the 14th of July itself, the Chief Secretary has submitted a report to him. So he may have very well known that this meeting was coming up.
Well, yes, what we hear from the Delhi government sources is that this meeting, Nabila, was earlier scheduled on the July 8th. But despite that, it was cancelled because the Lieutenant Governor's office had some prior engagement on the July 8th as well on this particular issue. Now, the meeting did not come forward after that. 14 July is when this report was submitted by the CS. And here we know that today that the meeting was scheduled by the Lieutenant Governor. Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi CM, has decided to skip the meeting. But however, sources say that he hasn't skipped the meeting due to this very reason. But it remains to be seen because now swords are out once again between the Lieutenant Governor in Delhi as well as the Chief Minister. This is something that has been happening for every policy that the Aam Aadmi Party ruling government in Delhi brings forward. And this time it's the excise policy on liquor. So everything that goes through the Lieutenant Governor, the CM office or at least the Chief Secretary has to answer for it. And certainly this has blown out of proportion now.
Milan,
because
the fact that the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal hasn't appeared for the meeting itself raises a lot of questions on the intention to really work on this allegation that the LG has levelled against them. In fact, the Delhi LG now also asking for a CBI probe into this. So these are really harsh allegations against a party that claims to be absolutely honest. We have our reporter as well, Abhishek Anand, to give us some more insights on that. Abhishek, that report that was given by the Chief Secretary mentioned several lapses in the excise policy. That Manish Sisodia may have taken kickbacks. He may have received some kind of money for the licenses issued, has favoured many licensees. What's the fact? Give us through those top 3 allegations that have been mentioned in that report.
Well, Nabila, the allegations made against the policy is very clear. The policy, after the implementation of this policy, big players of the liquor industry came to Delhi, and after that a series of new liquor shops started opening. When these liquor shops started opening in the residential areas, the local residents protested, and these protests were encashed by the BJP and the Delhi Congress, and they joined these protests and tried to corner the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, the allegations are these big players are subletting the new liquor shops in the residential areas, haphazardly expanding their businesses, and this is all happening because of the patronage of the new liquor policy. See, this is not a direct attack on the minister, the excise minister, but the recommendation of the LG itself says that all these things are happening under the excise policy which has been drafted and which has been monitored by the excise minister who is Manish Sisodia. So now the Aam Aadmi Party is claiming that this move is also politically
motivated, and
related,
that's understood.
like
of course, the Aam Aadmi Party, we heard very clearly saying that these allegations are only an attempt to tarnish a very honest and forthright government like the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal and the comments he made against this, saying that the government is scared of him. The central government, the BJP, is scared of him and his party.